And this one's name is okay, cool. I'll see you at Christmas sometime.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Happy
Thank
Father's
you.
Day, River and Joe.
Happy Father's
Yeah.
Day. Yeah, we got two fathers. Let's go. Do double daddies. Let's go. Huge.
Dad duo.
I'm a
Dad
The new
seahorse
duo.
cat.
Pokemon. Sorry.
Did double the dad, double the
Dad
fun. There you
duo.
go.
It's just two heads. And they tell you equally bad dad jokes.
Do it for Father Clarence. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to another episode of War of the Shattered Sun. I am your humble Dumbo master for the evening, the one and only pudding pastry, the farting tart, joined by my crew of daring daddies. We have the
This is not Dungeons and Daddies.
Dungeons and No, we can't say that. We'll get banned.
Yes, you can because that's well. I mean,
We'll
yeah.
get sued.
You right. Well, I'm saying it's not. We're not that. That's legal to say. That's encouraged to say.
Listen, if I'm in a dungeon, I am a daddy that is in a dungeon. Just saying.
Not unpacking.
This is gonna move a little bit over to the left of this conversation.
But yes, hello. We have the Punkyard Dogs, the CGs, the Joe Mojos, the Wolfstalker 16s, and the Wicked River 97s. Jay Frost is running late. He'll be here at some point, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and do our test rolls. Test rolls.
Bip.
Yeah. Oh, that's
16.
4.
4. 4 plus 16 is 20.
Aha. But 12 plus 4 is 16.
17.
17. Alright, Punk, it is up to you.
You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
Sorry, I enjoy your company. Damn.
Be sorry. Be very sorry.
I'll be sorry once I see what you wrote.
Hold on. And yeah, bongus. 15.
15. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. As this is going to be our last session of downtime, we will do this once more. Who would like to give me a rundown of what happened last session for inspiration?
Oh, I don't have my iPad. Shit. Oh, wait, guys, hold on.
I already went, so I do not volunteer.
I just accidentally opened Steam!
I'm just gonna have to copy paste what CG said.
Ah, I opened Task Manager, fuck! Well, the
You'll
Task
find the right
Manager
thing
was
to
on
click
purpose,
on.
it just opened up on the wrong monitor. You got
Pause
Steam.
for furiously hitting keys.
I'm waiting for Punk to get her iPad to see if she wants to do it.
I
Steam, can you stop fucking opening?
Man,
Goddamn!
The,
Hello?
Man, the only thing I've got, I don't know if this is probably enough, but what I've got is Blit studied plants with Alina in Haven. Lily bonded with her mom, got a boon, and unlocked her sword's final form. Was it last week when Corey and Diana got trounced by Theon giving Nexus
That
love
was
advice?
last week, yes. I do have
It was
a
last week, and then we found out that Garrett and Sarah had a kind of cute conversation, albeit awkward. But it was the start of something less awkward and more cute.
Punk, I have a question.
Yes.
Who is Alina?
That's just what I wrote down. Maybe I heard it wrong. I have a question
Dude.
mark by it, so I actually needed to get...
It was Dune.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay.
Yes, I
You
don't
just dropped that
remember
name
saying
like
that.
you knew who it was, and like I should.
And that's
know
what
who
I had
it was,
written
but I was
down.
like, who the fuck is Alina?
Because I didn't have her written down either.
Is that D-H-U-N-E?
It is correct.
Okay, thank you. Was that enough?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yay!
You
I'll
gave
be-
me the important bits.
Wow, not important.
Wow,
okay.
like Corvin setting up a
Seriously.
charity concert
Goddamn.
isn't important.
It's okay. The concert
Ooh,
hasn't
that's what I got.
happened yet.
I'll be over
Smile,
here, fuck.
eyes emoji.
Hey.
We're getting
Also-
to the concert.
Also,
Ravon
important-
talking about his brother, like talking to his brother.
Jay
about
Frost
family
isn't
stuff.
even
Damn.
here, alright? He doesn't deserve it.
He can vouch for himself when he gets here. I'm adding that to my notes, though. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Off to a great start today.
Punk and I are feeling a bit spicy today, apparently. I don't know what's going on. We're feeling froggy.
got a
Maybe
new
it's
cart.
Father's Day. Maybe it's our daddy issues. I don't know.
I don't have daddy.
Not yet.
I was
don't
gonna
have
say, I
daddy
feel
issues.
that.
But with that being said, take a sip of Wawa, and we return to our game. As we are coming down to the last bit of downtime, we're gonna try to knock out some of these final things a bit. We're gonna start tonight with Flit. Flit, I promised I didn't forget. I told you we were gonna do this. You wanted to do your, you wanted to meet up with Alice and do your interrogation of the Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
My question above game is, would you grab Lily for this, as Lily was there during that encounter?
I'm gonna have to roll on that because she's still kind of in a way right now.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I will leave it up to you.
And I will leave it up to my IRL dice, which I wish I could roll more. Okay, that's 12. Lily's coming along.
Okay.
Hey,
All right. For the sake of brevity, you two make your way back over to meet up with Alice, who has since dismantling the coven within New Eden, has since removed the Shadow's body from the chamber where you guys had left him and moved him to a more secure location so that you all may interrogate him. As you guys sort of enter the chamber where Alice is, she goes, "Ah, there you are. All right.
Hi, Alice.
Hi. You guys doing okay? It's been a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in something right now, but I'm not important here.
She's gonna insight that. What would she get with a 23?
Flit is going through some stuff, but actually working on it instead of just, kicking the can down the road. Like, she's in the process of it, so it's not something that needs to be addressed or brought up, I guess.
Okay. If that's the case, then she will let it go for the moment. Alright, so we're going to speak with Dead. Any ideas on what you want to say to him? Which is my way of going above game. Do you have your questions? Or do you need to discuss with perhaps Lily a little bit to get the questions you want to ask? You have up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I will
do
say, as this, for the sake of this spell has to be on a corpse, has to be cast on a corpse within 10 days. We're gonna say that this is a bit earlier in downtime. Smile.
Yeah. Understandable.
Just for, ease.
Okay, so I guess if we're poking this guy for information, he's one of the big wigs of the Shattered Sun Orcs.
He is one of Skull's blood pack. Basically, his direct underlings. These are the guys that report directly to him. He doesn't give his troops orders. He gives these guys orders to give to his troops.
I've got a few questions lined up.
You can have up to
So-
5.
How does Skull tame the Cerberus he rides?
Oh, are we
That's
starting?
one.
Because Alice hasn't started the spell yet. I was just making sure you had all
No,
your
no.
questions.
No, I don't have my questions, but
Oh, you're organizing them. Got it.
yes.
Got
And
it.
I'm also being like, hey, if you have any ideas, Lily, this would be a good time to contribute them if you wish to.
I'll also let the rest of the group, if they wish to assist with coming up with questions, I'll let them voice their opinions if that is okay with you, CG.
Yeah, go for it. This
So-
is big stuff. It shouldn't just be Flit.
Yeah, this is a group
Please,
discussion.
I'm dumb as bricks. I don't want it to be just split, but I have the memory of a goldfish. Like, actually, factually, I think my brain is the size of my turtles.
No wrinkle.
Smooth brain.
All right, I'm just writing stuff down. What's... We should probably ask about some, like, major military operations that Skull might be planning in the future. So, does Skull... No, I shouldn't use a... and then a yes or no. What is Skull's next major
Move.
move? Yeah.
Thank you, Lily.
I'm trying to help!
No shame. Let's see. Here's one I have. What is the relationship like between Skull and the Hellfire Assembly? Because I'm wondering that might be a string to pull later.
I will.
That is a good one.
I will also mention just above game, due to you guys have cast the spell before you are aware of it, and its power. You know that the corpse does not necessarily have to be truthful, especially towards someone who is hostile towards it, and this guy was definitely hostile towards you.
Okay. So, information to be vetted. Like we need to double check.
I will drop Speak with Dead in general chat for y'all.
Thank you.
If you wish to review the spell again.
Yeah, let me check.
Also, I was wrong. Does not need to be 10 days. It doesn't work if you cast the spell again on a creature 10 days after you've already done it.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Does Zone of Truth work on a corpse?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Hold on.
Lily's a paladin and has Zone of Truth.
I like this line of thinking.
Because here's the thing. In my mind, you have to... Let me look at the spell. Zone of Truth.
Sorry, I'm making you do your job.
No, you're good. Because my thinking is that a corpse can't make the save. It physically can't. A creature that enters the spell's area for the first time or starts as... Let me consult the internet.
I've perplexed the dog.
This also gives me more time to think of questions. Thank you, River.
Okay. I've got my answer. A corpse is not a creature. This is Jeremy Crawford. Zone of Truth works on creatures. Speak with Dead works on a spirit in a corpse, not a creature. So, no, Zone of Truth would not work. However, that was incredibly clever.
Yes, good thinking. I kind of want to be a dick and just ask him if death was everything he hoped for.
Smile.
Does anyone else have any ideas?
I also have command.
Again, spells that affect a creature will not work, as this is not a creature, it is a corpse. Shatter, on the other hand.
I'm just gonna shatter your soul like I'm Superman. Anyone remember that time he did that, where he just like hit a high chord and destroyed Darkseid's soul? That happened.
I do remember that.
Is a corpse considered a humanoid?
No, because a corpse
God
is
damn it.
not a creature.
Look, I'm looking. I'm trying to think.
No, you're good. Now, I can offer an alternative if you're wishing to go this route. You could bring him back.
No. Are you offering me this?
I don't know, CG. Am I?
The grumble.
All I'm saying is that you wanted to do speak with dead. You don't have to.
I will say that is a very expensive spell for an enemy.
Yeah. I'm also really poor.
You're really poor or you're really bored?
Poor.
Oh, I was like, all right, damn, sorry, fuck.
This D&D game is boring me.
And he left.
I lied. I love this D&D game. Please, no shame.
Banished! I didn't do anything, he left. I was half tempted to disconnect you for the bit, but no. Alright. Do you have some questions?
Yeah, I got 4, and I think I'll leave one for floating.
Okay. Are you ready then?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me go ahead and change your music. I need something spooky. Alice, seeing as the two of you are ready, takes the next 10 minutes to cast Speak with Dead. The dim lighting in here paints shadows amongst the walls, and the smell of incense sort of floods the room. As the spell goes through, you expect the corpse to speak or do something. Flit, you've seen this spell take hold before. You know what it does. But this feels a bit different. And then, as you two have higher passive perceptions, you notice the shadows on the walls begin to shift and move. They make vague shapes, pictures, objects. Both of you go ahead and roll insight.
$23.
8.
Lily, you're not entirely sure what's happening, which makes sense considering you weren't here when the spell was first cast on a different individual, but Flit, you get the impression that while they aren't speaking you directly in some form of language, you do have your spirit. The the shadows depict confusion. They depict the sense of fear, maybe? But you do think you have your spirit. Go ahead and ask your first question.
Okay. Why does Skull wish to wage this war?
The shadows pause as this question is sort of echoes throughout the chamber. There's a moment where you think perhaps the spirit has left you, or perhaps it remains quiet, but then there's this rumbling that sort of echoes throughout the chamber. Or perhaps it's laughter. The shadows depict war, fire. They depict conquest. They depict justice for crimes long since past.
Injustices, seems like. Skull given a reason to hate. The Hellfire Assembly would absolutely snap that up. I wonder. I suspect that Skull is merely a tool for them. Do you know what the relationship between Skull and the Assembly is like?
The shadows shift again. There is uncertainty. It's less of a partnership and more of a negotiation. Both sides have something that the other wants. A mutual goal, perhaps?
Professional, then. Sorry if I'm not. I just realized I'm not role playing as Flit right now because I'm deep
No,
in
that's
thought.
okay. You're fine. This is one of the spells where I am fine turning the in-game conversation into an above-game conversation.
Sorry, I'm just writing stuff down. And in this partnership, you've all been gifted something so powerful, beastly, but As intimidating as Skull is, I don't think he could control his mount as is. How does he control the Cerberus?
The shadows shift, and they form the shape of a large, fiery blade. It is a visceral, brutal-looking longsword, or maybe something different, but it does appear to be a blade.
I'm going through my notes right now and trying to remember if that's one of the
Well, the
one of the
artifacts,
relics. Yeah.
it would not be. However, you do recall going way back a ways in seeing these visions, these generated illusions to depict Skull in his operations. You have, in the few times that you've seen him wielding this terrifying looking blade that its steel is like a bright orange, almost as if it's burning.
Okay.
But you do know that it is not one of the artifacts that you have been told. You know that Skull has the mask, but that is something different entirely.
Mm-hmm. The plan that you all had concocted, this assault from below simultaneously, it failed. Knowing this, knowing that this plan has not succeeded, what is Skull's next major move?
There is no response. Go ahead and roll insight.
Where are you? You're here. There we go.
Lily, I'll let you roll as well.
14.
13.
Neither of you are for sure if it's him refusing to tell you or that he simply doesn't know.
That's 4 questions.
That is 4 questions. You have up to 1 more.
Anyone else have an idea?
Yes, let me know that the rest of you can provide a bit of feedback, a suggestion. Trader.
This might be a dumb idea, but maybe you could ask if his answers have been truthful.
Yeah, but then he could just lie again.
True.
I do like the traitor idea, but
Is ultimately your decision.
I feel like this guy wouldn't know who the traitor is. That doesn't seem like something he would be aware of.
Right. I'm looking at Speak with Dead. They can't give any insight into things like that if they don't know.
Correct.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Location of the Blood Talon's main headquarters.
that's a good idea, but I think it's also in the same vein of this guy. I don't think he'd know that. I don't think Skull
Also,
would know that.
also, we were told that the Blood Talons' HQ wasn't in a demiplane.
Well, that's the current theory.
Yeah. Hmm. I have a small idea.
Okay.
What you got, buddy?
He was Skull's one of Skull's main underlings.
Correct.
Every one of his main underlings is gone now. Who would fill in the gap?
The chain of command kind of question?
Yeah, like who can we expect to kind of fill that void?
Flit,
Me.
go ahead and make
Ye-
me, just with this train of thought, go ahead and make me just a straight wisdom check.
The 12.
How can you be sure that that's all of them?
That's a good question. Oh. That is a good question, isn't it? Okay, I'm okay with asking this follow-up question if no one else has an idea.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And they're just real quick. His guard, like his team of second in commands. Remind me, they're called the.
They're known as the Blood Pack.
Thank you.
The only other thing I can think of is what were their goals with like the Orient Draki and the Orient Hives.
Sorry, not the Blood Pack. I'm thinking of fucking Mass Effect. No, sorry, they're known as the Hell Raiders.
Okay. Shepard.
Shepard.
Calibration, Shepard.
All right. Of the Hell Raiders, the three twins, Zog, you, and he did not make his way to the collector, the collector have all been slain. Who else is in the Hell Raiders?
The shadows seem to recoil violently. And then they, after a few moments, it almost seems like they're to lunge out of the walls and attack you, but they simmer. They die down a bit. In the shapes of several individuals appear amongst the walls. The first, a lean, average height individual leading a pack of beasts. The second, a crooked bird-like visage that collects what appear to be souls. The third, a massive, mountainous individual whose very force of nature could demolish keeps. The fourth, a shimmering shadow, one known for his deceptive nature and brutal assassinations. The fifth, three unique, I think unique is a good word, three aspiring mages, all with their own techniques and terrifying potential. The sixth, a tall, wolf-like creature one that totes a large whip, bearing down upon a terrified crowd. And the seventh, a broad, tall, armored individual that wields the power of a dragon. The first five, as they appear before you, dissolve, one by one by one, leaving only the two, the sixth and the seventh, remaining on the wall.
Just kind of looks it over and commits them to memory. The draconic wielder and the wolf-like creature with a whip. She looks back to the wall and the shadow. That's the last question. Go. Return to the death that you so love. Or is that still the case? I wonder.
The shadows, again, recoil violently, almost as if they're in pain or screaming out. You're not entirely sure, but they die down, and the chamber remains silent.
Oh boy, that was something. So, if this information is to be believed, Skull is raging for. I'm sure not all of this is new information, but hearing it from another source is just confirmation. Skull's angry about past transgressions. Made a deal with the Hellfire Assembly so that he could probably get his revenge and his conquest, his everything, in exchange for helping get the artifacts. The blade that he wields is what he uses to control or tame the Cerberus. Not an artifact, but still something. Didn't seem to know or perhaps even be willing to part with what Skull's next major move is. And we have two Hell Pack members remaining. Some wolf-like creature and a tall, armored individual with draconic abilities.
Alice will speak. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with either of these individuals, so I'm not much help there.
It might be something that the War Council would have more information on. I'm sure that whoever these two members of the Hell Pack are, they haven't been sitting on their hands during this war.
Probably not.
Of course, if we don't know who they are, it begs the question of what they're doing, and that is concerning in and of itself. Not gonna lie.
Well, with that being said, do you require this one, kind of gesturing at the corpse of the shadow, do you require this one for anything else?
I don't think so. That being said, I really don't think he enjoyed The afterlife as much as he thought he would. He's kind of looking at the wall where the shadow was screaming in pain. Huh, haunting.
The spirit may be, in a sense, in a state of unrest. I'll see that a proper ritual is taken to solve that problem.
Good idea. After all, he's still here because of us, right? So clearly no ritual has been taking place of yet.
Correct. I'll see that it is done.
Flit nods. And she'll spend a little time with Alice, making sure Alice is like, out of the whole interrogation and everything. It's gonna spend a little time with Alice, just hang out. Hey, how you doing? You're holding up okay?
Yeah,
Pleasantries.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
All right. With that being all said and done, is it all right if we move on to the next person?
Absolutely.
All right. Let me go ahead and roll. Up next, Corey. Corey.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Corey, one day as you are venturing throughout the castle, kind of just doing your own thing, nothing really in particular at the time, you hear the odd whisperings of a couple of the castle staff from around one corner. Go ahead and make me
Oh God.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
If I need to, sure. Oh God. Okay, I guess I still need to. 10.
It's okay. The DC wasn't very high. I just needed to make sure you didn't nat 1 because your passive is already stupid high. You kind of pause as you hear this conversation, and you peek around the corner. You see 2 of the castle staff who seem to be cleaning one of the rooms and partaking in hushed conversation. One of them the one on the left is a tiefling individual, has a bit taller, a bit leaner, and then the other, both of them female presenting, and then the other being a shorter, stouter, gnomish woman. The tiefling goes, "So, did you hear about the whole thing with Garrett?" The other one goes, "Garrett? What, the older guy? The brooding one? Yeah. Apparently, one of the other girls saw him in the garden with one of those newer adventurers the other night." "You're joking. What? Why do I care?" "Oh, come on. It's interesting." "It's not that interesting. They're both single, probably. They're both, like... If that's the case, then good for them." Corey, this is the first you're hearing about this.
Corey's gonna start like nodding really fast, like smiling to herself as she tiptoes away. Wait, no. She's gonna listen. Wait, do they sound like they're getting closer? Or are they like standing, like
They're
going away
they're
further?
just in the chamber. They're just continuing their activities.
Do they? They didn't say anything. They weren't interested. They're not gonna say anymore. I want to hear more. This is enough.
As you start to tiptoe away with your passive perception here from the gnomish woman. Now let me tell you what I heard. I heard that King Aragon spent the night with one of those adventurers just the other night. To which the one on the left goes, "No, yeah. I think it was the blue one. I don't know her name. I don't know any of their names. I feel so bad." To which the tiefling one goes, "Well, we're not paid to know their names. We're paid to clean up their messes. I'm not a big fan of the Goliath and the cheese-related messes he keeps making. I think he has unleashed a spirit somewhere in the castle." A spirit? What are you talking about? Yeah, every now and again I hear, like, I don't know, it's like tiny voices screaming out about cheese. Kings and cheese. It's... To which the gnomish woman goes, "All right, girl, you may be losing it. You might be losing it."
Can I roll stealth? I want to try and reverse, like, pickpocket some money in their pockets.
Sure. Make me a stealth check. This will be 2 checks. Stealth check and then okay.
17?
Fucking, this should be good. Hold on. I'm gonna give them disadvantage because they're currently busy.
No, make it fair.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna give them disadvantage. Because otherwise you're dealing with the nat 20. Okay, yeah. Neither of them notice you as you slip on in. Go ahead, and you're doing it in both their pockets?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. Just one.
11.
Yeah, she ain't noticing that. What about the other? Yeah, neither of those are noticing that. The disadvantage was really fucking them. They had one really good roll on one dice, like, consistently, and then a bad one on the other. How much money are you slipping the two of them?
Oh, I'm doing math.
Okay. Gold has something scribbled on
4 gold. Yes! Actually, yes! The blue one's name is Corey. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for cleaning up, for taking such good care of us. I'll talk to Rovan about cleaning up after himself better.
Okay.
Signed, Corey.
You're gonna have to leave a note. That's a lot.
That's what she's doing.
Okay. I thought you were writing
She's
this
leaving a
on
note.
the gold.
Sorry, no, not on the pieces. She's gonna leave a note.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. They're gonna get quite the scare earlier when they realize that somebody was listening in on their entire conversation, but hey, you gave them some gold. They're sure
She's gonna sign it Corey, and then she's gonna do a colon with, like, the P, like, just the little tongue sticking out.
Yeah.
A little blip face.
Alright. Do you do anything with this current conversation, or are you sort of pocketing that away in the old brain hole?
What do you mean if she's gonna, like, mess with this conversation after she's already, like, reverse pit?
Well, I mean, with knowing what you now know, are you going to do anything? Are you, like, going to go after Sarah or
I'm gonna hold
Garrett,
on to this for now.
Okay, you're holding on to it? Alright. You have new information. The rumor mill has begun. And with that, I believe we're going to move on to another person. Sarah.
Well, that's ironic timing.
Sarah, you wanted to check in on Ilana, yes?
Correct.
All right. Easy enough. You find the time to be able to head back to Dry Hollow, or not Dry Hollow, Dawnfeld via teleportation to go and see your mother-in-law? Not mother-in-law. He wasn't your brother. I'm not sure what the term would be.
Aunt,
Aunts? Yeah, I guess that's the case.
because Weston was her uncle.
Your aunt-in-law. But you head on out there, and as you arrive in Dawnfeld, you see that the streets are bustling, people are schmoving. In fact, why don't I? Hold on. Where are you? Where is the song that I like? There it is. Yeah. You head on out to the orphanage that was named after your father, the one that Ilana is primarily in charge of, and you set out to meet her. She is currently very busy. You can see she's put on a little bit more weight, as one can imagine with one being pregnant. But she is a little bit bigger than the last time you saw her. And as you enter, she goes, "Oh, Sarah. It's good to see you, dear."
What is she doing right now?
She was in the middle of just kind of watching over a couple of the kids who were playing, but nothing super important.
Sarah gives her not an awkward smile, but like, hey, it's good to see you too. This is still odd. That kind of thing.
She turns to the two children who are playing, and she says to them, why don't you two go find Miss Margot?" And they both go, "Okay," and they both run off, kind of skipping and laughing. She turns back to you and she goes, "Is there something I can help you with?"
Not really. I just wanted to come check in and see how things were going here.
Things are better. Keeping myself busy has helped a lot. It's not perfect, but it's better. It's better. And you see as she's saying that, her hands are kind of like rubbing the base of her baby belly.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I hope the kids aren't giving you too much trouble.
Oh, they're fine. Most of them are perfectly fine little angels. Or at least that's what I tell most of the people who come in here. Are you doing alright? I heard about what happened in Dragon's Reach.
That was a whole thing, but I'm alright. We seem to have gotten everything taken care of, and we're working on rebuilding the city.
Good. Good. And what happens after that?
I'm not too sure. We've been having a little bit of downtime lately, but I'm sure soon enough we'll have to get back to it.
Oh, don't push yourself too hard. Alright?
Not exactly easy to do that when you're trying to save the world.
Yeah, I can imagine, which that's a weird turn of phrase to throw out.
At this point, I've gotten used to it, which is scary.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's... I dropped a die! Sorry. I don't feel like that's something you should ever have to become used to, you know? Being an adventurer is one thing, but a hero, some sort of protector of the greater good and the world, the realm, I can't imagine the pressure.
Oh, God. Cedric pointed us out during his address of Dragon's Reach the other day when everything was said and done. And, oh, God, everyone turned and looked at us, and I wanted that sinkhole to open back up and swallow me.
It had to be at least a little nice, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the attention.
Your uncle was the same way. Never liked having eyes on him. Always liked being, you know, dark and mysterious and brooding.
I don't know about brooding, but maybe dark and mysterious sound okay.
He liked to brood every now and again. I think he would sometimes whisper in like a gruff voice to himself when he did.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Which, that reminds me, actually. Here, come with me real quick. And she begins to guide you to another room.
Sarah will follow.
After, she takes you to her office, where she sits on down and she sort of, she sort of gestures at a chair for you to sit down and starts going over to the corner and starts opening up a couple drawers. And she goes, where did I put? Ah, there it is. And she pulls out a small, chest, probably about the size of like a lockbox. Nothing too terribly big. And she goes, after, anyway, I was going through some of his old things and I found this, and, well, I thought you might want it.
Did she open the lockbox?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's just like a small chest that she is passing to you.
Sarah will take it. Are you sure?
Yeah. I felt with everything that happened, it might be good to have some things for you to remember him for the person that he wanted to be. Not the person that he ended up being coerced into being.
Fortunately, the assembly has that effect on people.
That they do. But please, take it. I feel like it will do you more good than it will me at this point.
You said the box is locked, right?
No, it is, it's a simple chest. There's no lock on it. It's just roughly lockboxed, shaped. It's or lockbox sized, rather. It's nothing big.
Okay, I get it now.
A little smaller than a shoebox. But it's just a simple wooden chest.
Sarah will open it and peer inside.
Inside are a number of things. A few flowers that look like they've been preserved. One appears to be a beautiful small little sunflower. There seems to be like a lilac in there. Just a few preserved flowers. There's a small journal, it looks like. Another like, what looks like, not really sure, maybe like a brooch or something. You're not entirely sure what it is. It's almost like it's like kind of like a badge in a way. But just a few odds and ends, stuff that belonged to him.
What design is the badge?
Go ahead and make me a history check. I'll give you advantage as well.
$18?
The badge depicts some sort of military ranking. Have been either like proper military or perhaps like a guard badge or something. It looks old though, really old, way older than he was.
Sarah's brows kind of furrow as she examines the badge.
Do you take it out of the box?
Yes.
As you take it out of the box and you start looking over it, she goes, "Oh, that was his grandfather's. He was captain of the Dawnfell Guard for a time. Then, after he retired, he passed the badge down to his father and then to him. He never saw the need to get involved in the family business and join the city guard or the military for that matter, but it meant a lot to him. It meant a lot to his grandfather, at least."
Funny, it meant so much to him and I know nothing about it. What about these flowers? Was he a collector or?
No, she smiles with a bit of a sigh. He liked to do this very sweet thing where whenever I would give him a flower, he would go and get it preserved. He would keep them. I didn't know this until way later, but you'll notice there's quite a few in there. Sarah looking a bit closer, there seems to be about a dozen small, individually wrapped and preserved flowers.
You said you gave these to him?
Yeah, just something that I did before we became official. It was him showing these to me that cemented our relationship initially.
Sarah will take about half of them out and hold them out to Alana. Then you should keep at least some of them.
Make me a persuasion check.
Seven.
She appreciates the gesture, but she puts her hand sort of on yours and begins she pushes it back a little bit towards you. That's all right. I've got the best flower right here, and she sort of gestures at her tummy again. The first one he ever gave me. Iris.
Okay, that's really sweet. Sarah will kind of hold the flowers out again. Then if you won't keep them for you, keep them for her. To show her what kind of person her father was.
Ooh. Make me another persuasion check with advantage. Better.
17?
She pauses for a moment, but your words seem to get through to her. And she smiles, and she takes them. She begins sort of leafing through them one by one. Thank you. I think she'll be happy to see these.
I'm sure she will. Sarah will kind of turn her attention to the little journal that's in there. Funny, I didn't picture Weston as much of a journaler.
I didn't either, truthfully. I had never seen it before I looked in that box. And this journal is like, it's tiny. It's one of those like little like mini pocket journals. It is not a full-sized book.
Have you looked through it at all?
No, I haven't. I've been tempted, but no.
You only opened this box after he passed, right?
Correct.
Sarah will pick up the journal and just kind of open it to the first page. Just for like a quick glance to see what might be in it.
It appears to be a diary. The first few, you're just peeking at it a little, like the first few pages probably.
Yeah.
Based on just the first few pages, you are able to determine that the journal originally is from probably a much earlier part of his life, where you can see in the beginning his writing is not illegible, but it's definitely seen improvement since then. And these are the thoughts of a teenager that you're reading. Talking about the pretty girls on the street, and talking about how his father is trying to push the family legacy onto him, and all these different things. It's a teenager's event book in the beginning. That's what
Sarah
you get
will-
for the first, like, 10 pages.
Sarah will flip to the last entry.
You're going straight to the end, yeah?
Yeah. Just to kind of gauge, like, how long it's been since he's written in this.
Give me one moment.
I mean, she'll take a closer look at it later when she's not with Alana.
The end of the book. You flip to the last page and you see that it's empty. So you immediately think that he didn't make it to the end. So you start flipping back a bit, trying to find the last entry. And after probably about 20, 30 pages, while this book, not super sizable, it is actually decently dense. You can see that there are a good number of pages in it, even if the pages are in themselves tiny. And after a few moments, you find the last entry. And in a barely legible scrawl, all you see is, "I'm sorry." Scrawled across both of the pages.
Is it dated or anything?
No. Which the first few entries were. But this is the only thing on these last 2 pages. "I'm sorry." There's a sense of heartbreak in those words as you read them.
Does Sarah get the feeling that this is not something she should read in front of Alana?
That's ultimately up to you. The best I could do is make you roll a wisdom check. But that's ultimately up to you. I can't tell you what you can and can't read. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to in this circumstance. That's up to you.
Sarah will put the book away for now.
Okay. You put the book away.
She's definitely going to take a closer look at that later. Like maybe when she leaves Alana.
Okay.
Well, thank you for this. I really appreciate it. You certainly don't have to give me anything.
Oh, it's really my pleasure. Again, I've known him for a very, very long time. I saw him at his best, and I saw him at his worst. I felt that you deserve to see him the way that I saw him as well.
Did he ever talk about my dad? Or did you ever meet my dad?
Your father, I met one time. And that was the same day that he put the money down to have this orphanage built. Aside from that, Wes talked a lot about him. Talked about all the things they would do as kids, as brothers, the great times that they had. For a while, I didn't even think that he existed. I had never met the man. But when I did, there was an odd sense I got from him. I read him as a man who was broken. And then after he put the money down for this building, I found that out the next morning that he had passed away overnight.
Sarah kind of cringes at the mention of that.
Wes never told me why or how, but after that he never really mentioned him again. I never pried, of course, but I always had my own theories.
Sarah's kind of staring at the box, almost dejectedly. Well, Weston hated me. I don't. There's no doubt in my mind that he hated me. I don't know how he had the heart to protect me in the end.
She pulls a chair up in front of you. She sits down. She sort of puts both of her hands over yours, which are on top of the box. I have known that man for a very long time. Longer than most. He was not a hateful man. He may have been hurt. He may have been tired. But he did not hate you.
I don't see how he got it when I'm the reason he lost his beloved brother.
She looks down at your hands, and she sort of traces her thumbs over the top of them. Everybody has lost someone. It's what we do after that loss, how we move on from it, that matters.
Sarah kind of shakes her head. That's not what I mean. I mean, I killed Dawson Jade.
She sort of squints a little bit. You killed him?
Fit of rage. I thought he was abusive, and after my mother passed, I completely thought he was abusive, and one day when I was 16, I couldn't take it anymore, and I snapped and I killed him. Come to find out later that he wasn't abusive at all. He loved me very much. And the Hellfire Assembly had brainwashed me.
And the two of you weren't so different after all. You both were victims to these terrible, terrible people. I don't think you two hated each other, but maybe these people made you think that you did. And that's not your fault.
How could it not be when I was too blind to see what was right in front of me? Too blind to see the reality of my life.
You said yourself. They brainwashed you. How would you have known?
Weston was kinder to me in the end than I ever deserved.
She She pauses for a moment. I think you are being too hard on yourself. These terrible, terrible people have taken you and they've broken you just as they broke him. Anything that they made you do, anything that they made you think, you and I both know that that is not the person you are. That's not the person you wish to be. That's not your true self. And you cannot continue to blame yourself for something that you had no control over. What you can do is that you can go and find these people, these terrible people, and you make it right. Not just for your sake, but for his as well. For both of them.
I've already made what was done to me right. I've already helped kill the person that ordered what was done to me.
Then you find the rest of them, and you make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Sarah gives almost a solemn nod. I'm working on it. Me and my whole party are working on it.
I know. And I think that if either of them were standing here now, they would be so very proud of you.
Sarah has had tears welling up in her eyes almost since it turned to this line of conversation. But hearing that is when the tears start to spill.
Seeing the tears fall a bit, she smiles, and she takes you into a warm embrace that you two share for a few moments. An undetermined amount of time passes, and eventually you realize that it is time to go. And as you make your way out with this new sense of purpose, as well as this box of mementos, you find yourself better for it. And you are going to get that +2 wisdom that you wanted.
Ooh. The last thing I want to do is when Sarah gets back to the castle, she's going to sit in her room and go through that journal.
Just immediately after you get back?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably eating at her too much to let it wait.
Okay. No, that's the wrong song. I wanted the other one. There it is. You get back to the castle, and the sense of unease you got reading the last journal entry sort of takes over you. You retreat to your room, you lock yourself inside, and you begin to scroll through the pages. The journal, the first part of the journal is much like I said before. It's a teenager's diary. Something for them to just write down and vent. And then you notice that the dates drop off suddenly. The next entries are several years later and become more sporadic. They become the markings of major events. You eventually come across where he starts mentioning Ilana. He starts making mention of Dawson, your father. He makes mention of the day that you were born. Again, the years jump forward. We start getting closer and closer to present day. The journal entries turn from documentation to accusations. The scribblings of paranoia. And then the last entry, before everything goes awry, you notice as the day before you took your father's life. The next entry simply reads, "How could she have done this?" What follows is hardly legible scrawl, the ramblings of a madman.
A man? Or a man stricken with grief?
Did you say a man?
A mad man or a man stricken with grief?
Perhaps both.
Hello, I am Madman.
As you go along, these writings seem to hardly have any point and seem to just be him writing things for the sake of writing them. Random phrases and words that seemingly don't make any sense. And then you flip to the next page. And sprawled across it in very clear, very thin writing, "I'll kill her. I'll 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 kill her." Over and over and over. Page after page after page. The second to last entry doesn't even have any writing. And it's just mad scribblings, scratch, just as if a child had taken a pencil and just threw it across the page, just scribbling as hard as they could. No content, no substance, just scribblings. And you know what the last entry says.
It's logical to assume that by her he means Sarah, right?
You can presume. Yes. Sarah. I'm not even gonna make you roll. The Weston that you came across on your journeys was he was harsh. He was determined. But he had some sense of intelligence to him. Something that completely goes against what you see on the pages. They didn't simply coerce Weston. The Hellfire Assembly broke him. They turned him into their own personal agent, hellbent on finding revenge for something that they caused. They took advantage of a hurt, lost man, and they broke him. This man was your uncle.
Weston didn't end up with Zygmotus until after the encounter in... Oh, shit, what was the name?
The dive.
The dive. Thank you, CG. Right? He didn't end up...
He ended up becoming the chosen. Normandir's quote-unquote chosen, quote-unquote, or at least vessel during the events of the dive, yes. As you know that Normandir had attempted to persuade, coerce your very own party members, but that eventually passed on to Adam. Adam Weston. Adam is a different man entirely.
Do any of these dates coincide with the run-in and the dive?
No. The last date you see, the last date that's written out, is the one the day before you killed your father.
Okay.
After that, there are no more dates.
She is going to flip back to the entry that mentioned her birth.
Okay.
And see what kind of things Weston was saying at that point. Like how he was feeling about her.
You go back to his entry about your birth. He hadn't mentioned up to that point that your mother was pregnant or that your father was even married, for that matter. But the writings here about you and your birth are nothing but heartfelt. I'm so proud of what these two have done. I'm proud of what they've made. I'm so happy for them. I'm excited for this child and who she will become, and I am excited to be there with her and help guide her. She's my niece. This was not just someone happy that their brother had a child. This was a proud uncle. A proud uncle who was looking forward to the future. A future that was torn from him by a group of sick, twisted people.
But Sarah doesn't remember ever meeting Weston until she started hunting her, right?
Go ahead and make me a wisdom save.
Soft 20?
That was exactly what you needed. Sarah, as you start thinking about this sensation shoots through your skull like a migraine. It's painful, it hurts. You end up instinctually... Who the fuck is doing fireworks? Hello? Sorry.
Firework
It's
pop
still the
pop,
18th,
y'all.
damn it!
It's fucking June 18th. Hello?
That's tomorrow!
Listen. It's firework pop for Pop's Day.
Damn it.
Pops for
reading-
pops.
Sarah reads through the journal, and migraine comes through like an explosion of pretty colors.
Sorry, fucking, I heard the firework go off and my brain went into fight or flight. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, with the sensation sort of overpowering your body, you end up dropping the journal. You are racked in pain. You drop to your knees. You had already unlocked a set of memories that had been clouded, taken out by whatever the Hellfire Assembly had done to you. But this feels like a whole new layer that you didn't know was there. You remember this flood of memories, spending time with Weston, growing up with him. You were around him almost more than you were your own family. He taught you how to hunt. He taught you how to fight. He showed you the spot that he wanted to build a cabin on. The same place that you made yours. He was more than just an uncle to you. He was a second father. They took him from you. They took him from you, and they set him against you.
Sorry, writing notes.
Yeah, of course, you're fine.
I think it's fair to say that at this point, Sarah is slightly losing it. She is furious.
Correct.
And now has more of a resolve than ever to take down the Hellfire Assembly.
Correct.
And through that fury, there's also tears for the life she lost and was taken away from her.
They took away your life, your family, everything that you could have possibly held dear. And as you're sitting here mulling this over, a furry visage walks up to you and plants itself in front of you. Raven. Sensing that something is awry, has come to your aid. But there's something more. Something you've never quite noticed before. You look into Raven's eyes as you sort of take her face in your hands, and there's a glint in her eyes, something that you have never noticed before, but it feels familiar. You watch as Raven picks up the journal in her mouth and passes it to you. Holds it down to you. As opened up to another entry. No. It's opened up to an entry that you previously read, but you see that two of the pages are seemingly stuck together, maybe? You see a fold between two of the pages. One that you hadn't noticed when you were flipping through the book.
Before Sarah opens that, she is going to insight her own dog.
What are you trying to insight?
What this thing is that she's never noticed before. And, maybe because I'm slightly paranoid, she's going to compare it to how Raven acted in the dive. When she wasn't actually Raven.
Okay. Roll insight.
$29.
Raven is very well trained. Raven is very smart. You've spent years training this loyal, friendly wolf. One who has never led you astray, one who has always been by your side. And as you're sitting there and you're thinking about this, and as you see the journal between her teeth, you blink for a moment, and you swear for a moment you see this flash of white encompass her body.
Almost like she was possessed?
Shrug.
Okay.
I should say,
So-
this flash of white, it's not like a light. It's almost like your originally black wolf turns white.
Like her actual fur color changed for a split second.
Correct. Do you take the journal?
She does.
Okay. You take the journal and you look down into it, and it definitely looks like another page. You can see writing very lightly, very slightly in between this spot where the page is folded. What do you do?
Sarah's going to undo the fold and investigate.
You undo the fold, and you open up another journal entry. You look around this journal entry, and you see that this is a couple years after you were born. You were roughly 5 at the time. This journal entry depicts your very first hunt. It tells about how Weston took you out for your very first hunt in the woods around Dawnfeld. It talks about this harrowing encounter where you were attacked by a pure white wolf. Weston, wanting to defend you, of course, put the dog down. He defended you. there's another entry. 3 days later. Weston went back out to hunt. Just a casual hunt. Nothing really in mind. He just went out. He went back. He ended up back at the spot where he had killed this pure white wolf. And where it once laid was a single, fully black wolf pup. One that he named Raven.
Sarah kind of slowly looks up from the journal to look at Raven.
There's that glint in her eyes again, and you see it for sure this time. A shock of white comes over her fur color.
Sarah has 1 free cast of Speak Animals per day.
Uh-huh.
She is going to use this right now.
You cast Speak with Animals. What do you say to Raven?
You were never caught in a trap, were you?
Raven tilts her head curiously. Like she should know what you're saying. Like she understands it. But there is no reply.
Almost. Is it like the spell doesn't work because she's not actually an animal?
Make me an Arcana check.
That's a 3.
You are unsure.
Sarah is going to set that journal aside for right now. And she is going to take Raven to... My first instinct is Flit, but I'm not sure.
I'll say for the sake of this, Flit is currently inaccessible.
Okay. Corey has Speak with Animals too, right?
Correct. I believe so. Do you, Corey? Even if you don't have it prepared, I'll say if you have it, it will count. Then yes.
Punk, are you okay with Sarah going to Corey?
Sure.
All right. Sarah will take Raven and go look for Corey.
Okay. You go out and you find Corey. Corey, when Sarah comes to you, there's a sense of unease, but also a new sense of resolve from your friend Sarah.
You right?
Undetermined. Look, when you cast Speak with Animals, you can tell if the spell actually works, right?
Generally. It kind of depends. If the animal flat out ignores me, I may not know, but... most of the time, they're kind of weirded out by someone being able to talk to them, so they respond in some way I could get some feedback.
Could you do me a favor and try casting it on Raven?
Sure, I've actually been wanting to cast that on her for a while. I just... like now?
If you have the time.
Sure. And let's see, a semantic component. Is that her waving?
Somatic components are typically hand gestures, yes.
Yeah, so she'll just like 2-finger point, like kind of point at her.
Okay. What do you say to Raven?
Hey, girl. I don't know what Sarah wants to discuss with you, but this is happening.
Much like what had happened before. When Sarah cast the spell, Raven does seem to recognize what you were saying, but does not reply.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Much like when Sarah had cast the spell, Raven does seem to understand, but does not reply.
Raven?
Her ears perk up again. She recognizes her name, but she does not reply.
Where were you earlier, Raven?
Raven tilts her head at you, almost like she's confused as to what you're meaning.
Were you outside the castle earlier? Where'd you go?
Raven continues to look at you, seemingly not sure as to your meaning.
Ooh, that's new. And Corey looks over to Sarah. She kind of doesn't get me. I don't know if that means... hold on. Something... usually a beast will respond, an animal in some way, but if they're not responding, it doesn't seem like she's just not responding. She's not ignoring me. She just doesn't know how to respond. And she's smart, so we know she's not like... Where'd you get her?
Where'd you get her? Like she's a faulty toy at
Where's
the
she
store.
from? No, I have a reason for this. Shut up, Tart. Shut up.
I thought I found her as a wolf pup stuck in a trap. But I'm not so
You
sure of
thought?
that anymore.
You thought?
I just came from visiting Alana, and she gave me a
Okay.
box of Weston's old stuff. One of the
Oh.
items was a journal.
Oh.
And reading through that journal, I seem to have uncovered some memories that Greater Restoration did not restore to me.
Oh.
Looking through that journal, there was an entry about Uncle Weston taking me hunting for the first time, and us being attacked by a big white wolf that Weston killed. And then there was an entry that was folded over, almost hidden, where he went out to hunt again 3 days later and found a little black wolf pup where the white wolf was lying. A wolf pup that he named Raven.
Corey's gonna cast Detect Magic on herself real quick.
Okay.
Does anything come up near Raven?
Yeah.
Or on Raven?
You
What?
cast Detect Magic, and you do see Raven as magical. You've noticed this before, as you know that Raven now has this magical aura based around her from Sarah's ranger capabilities. You know that Raven can be magically summoned. You know that if Raven were to die, she would come back again.
Can,
Oh,
I actually prep this. Dominate Beast.
Dominate Beast. You're casting this on Raven?
Yes, or I'll try. I'm a little bit worried since Speak with Animals kind of didn't work.
You attempt to cast Dominate Beast on Raven. You're pretty confident that it will work. She's a wolf, after all. Wolf is a beast. You've turned into wolves before. Spell does not take hold. Shut up, Nug. Nug's mad.
Well, your dog's not a beast.
This feels like a long shot, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot if this doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
Sarah looks directly at Raven.
Uh-huh.
Raven, speak.
Raven goes, "Ruff." Corey, how long does Speak with Animals last?
Would that
10
matter?
minutes.
Because she just cast Dominate Beast.
Okay. Is Speak with Animals concentration?
No. Doesn't say. I'll look at it again real quick.
Here, just pop it up for me.
Well, that's why I'm looking it up. I'm making sure I didn't miss something.
It is not concentration. Raven barks, which should trigger Speak with Animals, but it does not.
Yeah, she's not a beast. So, shall I consult the gods?
Do you
It'll
have
take
any?
about 10 minutes, but I can do it.
Do you have any sort of spell that can maybe determine what she is?
Nope, I just plan to ask the gods what she is.
I plan to ask great big man up in the sky.
Someone up there will have an answer.
Someone
for
will
me.
tell me what this fucker is.
Tell me what this good girl is.
If you're okay with using that for today, then yeah, go ahead. I want some answers.
All right, hold up. And she cracks her knuckles and starts doing some stretches.
I want you all to know I'm grinning like a fucking madman over here.
I did not plan to take this long, but holy shit, is this
I'm
a discovery?
so happy, dude.
Corey will cast Commune.
Commune. Go ahead and pop up Commune for me.
Hold on, I gotta put it in my sheet because this is.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet. Hold on.
You know what? Fair enough. Let me pull up Commune. Okay. There you go. Commune. So, you contact your deity or divine proxy and ask up to 3 questions that could be answered with a yes or no question. So these questions specifically have to be yes or no. You receive a correct answer for each question.
All right. Is Raven a monstrosity?
No. Feel free to consult with the group above game for this if you want.
My plan is to. All right, group. My plan is to ask: is Raven's origin maleficent?
Maleficent?
Or I guess malevolent. Bad. Bad meaning.
I can hear
Yeah,
the mouse approaching.
I think that's the word you're looking for. Or could be magical.
I'm sure at this point, if we knew that if Raven was malevolent, we would have known by this point. We raised Raven from the dead and made Raven immortal.
Sarah has been side by side with Raven for years.
And even left the wolf to protect the children.
That's true.
If Raven was malevolent, y'all would know. Y'all would know at this point.
You could ask if Raven is bound in some way.
I feel like the answer to that would be yes, because she is
Bound
technically
to Sarah.
yeah.
I can't ask if she's familiar or anything, really, because we kind of already knew that she was already up when she was alive the first time.
Here. I have an idea.
I was gonna also ask, is Raven our leak?
I think that's not... I don't think that's a...
Here, because we've been going for a while. Let's take a bio break, and you can think about your questions while we're on the bio break, and when we come back, we can answer them. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay. Because I know we've been going for a bit, and I'm sure everybody wants to get some water and stuff right now. I know I need to top off my water real quick. So, chat. We are going to take a quick bio break. We will be back in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Good to know.
Arson?
A
I would take
is
I
for
mean, I'm tempted to go burn a
arson.
church.
B is for Barson.
He's dead now.
C is for committing arson. Anyways. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, We were in the middle of commune. Yes.
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 More importantly, during the break, CG, you wanted to burn inspiration for a hint.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and take your inspiration off and ask me your above game question. What hint would you like?
What would be the I guess, best way to discover what is happening or has happened or is with Raven?
What is with Raven?
What is Raven? What is a raven? A miserable pile of something. That's why I
feather?
guessed it.
Raven? The best way to tell what Raven is a simple level 1 divination spell.
Not me pulling up 5e tools.
I'm pretty sure I know what this means now.
Let me actually, real quick. Rehua Kore. Let me look at your spells real quick. I'm gonna futz about with your sheet. So give me just a moment. This is not a spell currently within Kore's repertoire.
I think I know who might have this spell then.
Someone in your party, a couple people in your party, have access to this spell. One definitely has it. Let me see. This is a bit of a lengthy hint because I'm now going through your shit. 3 people have access to this spell.
What spell is it that Flit casts when she licks something?
Identify.
Identify, which I will say will not work in this regard, though I like your thinking. Lick the dog.
I was gonna say, only Flit has Identify, though.
I think I know the spell.
What spell do you think it is, CG?
Well, I believe that the 3 people who have this spell would be Diana, Rovan, and Lily, who know the spell Detect Good and Evil. And I think that is my hint answered.
Okay. That hint is accessible to everyone, but I will say that that information is not resolved until, no, I'll let that carry over into Commune. It's an above game hint. So, Kore, you still have 2 more questions with Commune. Which again, you can consult the group for this.
Group.
Perhaps consult CG, who just burned a hint.
Group.
Is Raven a celestial?
I'll let it rock.
You'll let it rock? Raven is not a celestial.
Shame. That leaves one other option. Well, one other good option. Detect good and evil and good covers a lot of things. A celestial is one of them. There are 3 that I think would apply to Raven right now.
Okay.
Celestial. Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
Okay. Celestial, elemental, fey.
My thought is Faye.
I swear, if we're all getting bamboozled and it's like, because of Beastwalker, they're an elemental now, I'm gonna be really angry.
Fire into
I swear-
elemental. Poof.
I swear
Let
to
loose
God,
the
this-
dogs of hell.
Is
ahead, Joe.
Raven of Fey origin?
I was about to say, if this dog is a fae, I have words.
Is Raven a fae? Yes.
I see. Thank you, God.
You're welcome, child. My child.
Cora will stand up. So, your dog is a Fae.
A Faye.
Yep. Can't tell you anything else. And then she scratches Raven behind the ears. Who's a good little Fae? Who's a good girl?
You see the leg begin to kick a little bit.
Sarah's just kind of staring at Corey like, okay then. Shit, I was about to look something up and I completely forgot what it was. Nope, it's gone. Oh.
So, she says, still scratching Raven's ears. How were the gardens last night?
Damn, going right into it. All right, going for the throat.
Okay.
Just gonna
I just
slide
did a
on into
favor
that.
for her. That's my thinking. I just did you a favor. Here's my question.
A payment must be paid.
Oh, thank you so much for this gift, Punk.
No joke. Today I actually had a conversation with someone about the Fae thing. I asked someone, because I work at a certain coffee shop, and I asked him, like, yeah, can we get your name? And he looked at me and was like, don't you have your own? I was like, I see you. May I know what they call you then? And he stops and he like laughs and goes, I like that actually. I'm like, oh really? Fae trickery.
Sarah just kind of gives Corey the most confused look. Like it's not clicking with her that, oh yeah, that was last night.
Last night, the other nights, you know.
Yeah. And she's looking
Last
at Corey.
fucking
She's
night, you dance on tabletop. Sorry.
she's looking at Corey. She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I was roaming around the castle earlier and I was just thinking, you know, I haven't checked in with my friend Sarah in a while. And I heard some lovely twittering of some birds.
What?
I heard
Like,
you had an evening, a very nice evening last night.
Corey's been on Twitter.
it kind of dawns on Sarah now what Corey's talking about. And she's like, "Oh, who did you hear this from?"
Sarah says, getting ready to add a name to the list.
I actually don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Huh?
I mean, yeah.
What the fuck
Corey
do you mean you
shrugs.
don't know?
Corey shrugs, scratching under Raven's chin. I don't know. They were just some servants in the castle.
Oh, fucking course. We
It's
should really
hard
bother.
to sneak around unnoticed when there are so many eyes wandering around.
We should really bother to learn the servants' names at some point.
There are so many. Good luck. I've resolved. I tried. I have resolved to just being as nice as possible. By the way, I also heard some chittering of some other birds that we need to check in with Rovan. He makes the servants' lives a living hell cleaning up after his cheese. Escapades, as it were.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm not saying, it's gotta be spotless, but, he can do a little more, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring that up to him. I was going to say something and then I saw CG's thing and I lost
Or he's
it.
still just grinning at Sarah, just mindlessly, scritching Raven all over, just changing areas every now and again, without leaving Sarah's face.
Sarah kind of glances at it. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that until we find out more about this whole Fae thing.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And she raises her brow.
What?
She's gonna can Corey cast suggestion on you?
Oh my god!
No, wait, no! Detect thoughts! Hold up, I don't have to do suggestion. Well, nah, we'll do detect thoughts for now.
You casting detect thoughts on Sarah?
I like what CG
Yeah,
said.
she's gonna see what she can glean from it.
Okay, sure. Detect thoughts. Sarah,
But then she's gonna follow up with something, so.
Sarah, what are your surface thoughts right now?
Is there not a spell save for this?
Not
13.
for the initial. There's a save if Corey attempts to dive deeper, but this right now is just getting your surface thoughts.
Sarah's surface thoughts are, I'm gonna kill a servant.
There you go, you got a confession. Arrest her. Corey, you can attempt to dive deeper if you wish.
No, she's gonna
Okay.
use her telepathic message though to tell her. I mean, I can find out, but I will let you tell me in your own time. And then she'll give another two-fingered salute to Sarah.
You'll let me tell you in my own time, huh?
Out of curiosity, was Corey on the list before?
The friendly fire list?
Yes.
I don't think so.
As a member of the party, she is automatically on the list.
Well,
Now,
yes, but she has
if
not.
we're talking
not
has
yet.
been hit, no.
Okay.
Actually, I think she has, because I'm fairly certain Sarah shot her deliberately at one point.
That's deliberately, not
That doesn't
accidental.
count.
Ow.
That doesn't make the list.
However, make a note of this.
Can do.
Sarah's kind of crossing her arms. Yeah. What happened is Nexus is a meddling little shit.
Corey's. Nexus, You. Oh, you!
Sarah looks more confused now than she did before.
I like the quiet. You!
I'm sorry.
snort and it hurt my throat. Yeah, Sarah absolutely looks more confused now than she did before. What? What are you talking about?
Well, I technically had nothing to do with it. So, I'll see you later.
Wait, no, you don't get back here.
Run, Corey! Scatter!
Corey is going to scatter!
Smoke bomb!
Good luck getting her. She's got fucking like 85 feet of movement. Fucking stupid monks.
I mean, Sarah as a rogue as well as a scout rogue probably can match
Oh, wait. Sarah just went up in speed, didn't she?
that.
I
Mhm.
did.
Uh-oh.
I've got a 35 movement speed.
As,
Fly, Corey! Fly!
Corey will
And-
run.
And I can bonus action and action dash.
without even having to use key points too.
That's true. Corey can fly, though. But...
Corey also probably beats me in strength.
But for the sake of this, regarding this lead with Raven, is there anything else that you wish to do regarding this?
Hey Joe, where's Corvin?
I don't know, what day is it?
This would be this day specifically would probably be just a couple days before your concert.
If it's before the concert, he would definitely be clipboard in hand, like making final preparations for everything, getting everything set up for the group opening number for all the artists.
Okay. I will say that the entirety of the party is at this stage aware that the concert is happening. You know that it's a couple days from now. Do you wish to go find Corvin?
Yes. And again, guys, I am so sorry.
It's fine. You head on out to go find Corvin. You head deep into the city where you can see a section of the city, of the center of the city has been cordoned off for this event that is being put on in a couple days. But you were able to get through without any issue from security, quote unquote. The security are mainly just like city guards who are familiar with you and don't stop you at any point. And you do go over and you do find Corvin.
I will say, Sarah looks like a woman on a mission. Like, it is best not to stop her. What is Corvin doing right now?
What is Corvin doing right now?
Probably getting everything, making sure that like everyone has their lyric sheets that they have to memorize for the opening number.
Making sure
trying to
Smitty
get
is
it-
carrying all the heavy shit.
Like literally, Smitty is handling everyone's luggage case, with varying levels of heaviness.
Yep, absolutely.
Corvin!
One moment, darling. No. The lyric goes. Saw the writings on the wall when heathens ruled above us all. Get it right. It's your part. Yes. Hello.
You did not just blow me off, I know that.
I am very busy, darling. I do apologize. It's just some people
Yeah,
can't get art where they see it. Like he's just glaring at one of the.
Drop
lesser-known
it for a
people.
minute, I need you.
Ugh.
Or rather, need your help.
These Philistines!
What can I do for you?
Raven does not seem to be what I thought she was.
Concerning, she's not a wolf?
No. she is a fae.
Interesting. Small world. He's just like writing down things on the clipboard.
Sarah is going to grab the clipboard from him.
It's mostly just a bunch of notes for the show in the next couple of days. Nothing really of any importance.
It's more of a attention on me grab.
There's now a drawing in the corner that's have you ever seen the big fat meanie drawing from SpongeBob? It's that, but it's Sarah.
No, God, no. He wouldn't do that.
No, but it'd be funny.
It'd be funny, but unfortunately, that's not in his character.
Big fat meanie.
This is confirmed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
This is confirmed by Corey using Commune.
So, what do you want me to do about that?
Sarah kind of throws her hands up with the clipboard still in hand. You're our local expert on Fae.
Help!
Fae come in all shapes. I mean, Fae come in all shapes, sizes, teeth, claws, what have you. I don't know what the context of this revelation is. I'm confused.
Corvin, you hear a crashing sound a little bit of ways away, and you see Smitty completely crushed under the luggage he was carrying.
Using animated objects to save the fucking idiot.
Oh, I thought that was the end there. For real.
Yeah, no, you have a lot more to go through. You're not dying today. Chop.
You're a wuss, Smitty. Put your back into it.
I'm trying.
I swear, some of the people in the second act have a lot more muscle and willpower than he does.
He's a shrimp. That's not hard.
No, it's not. But, so, I guess, what do you need from me about Raven? Do you need me to talk with her, or what's going on?
I'm not sure what the hell to do, because speak with animals didn't work on her. Sarah would have tucked the journal into her pocket, and so now she's going to, put the clipboard underneath her arm and pull the journal out and flip to the entry about, 1, Sarah's first hunt, and 2, finding Raven. And hand the journal to Corbin.
He does look at it with a certain level, with a very curious energy to him, and as he's kind of reading it, especially with everything that he knows about Weston, he definitely it's going from more of a curiosity, and just his smile definitely lessens into a bit of a neutral look, and then as he continues to read, into a frown, and he does look a little he definitely looks like he could be saying sorry about his previous comments in a moment. I am so sorry. I could not imagine any of this.
Yeah, I couldn't either. Until I started reading through this and the memories came back to me.
Corbin,
Lana just gave it to me.
you read the section about finding the wolf, yeah?
Yeah, he reads as much as he could within this span of time, but since he has the keen mind feed, he can probably read a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Bibbidi boop. 24.
You've heard tales of mystic creatures from the Fae that are spirits. spirits of whatever form they had originally taken.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I had to answer my housemate real quick as you were talking.
Oh, you're good.
I didn't know if it picked up on the mic or not.
No, you're fine.
But
yes, you know of fey spirits that often, especially when they're stranded in the material plane, their spirits become detached from whatever form they originally held and almost become their own creature. They almost gain their own sense of sentience, equal to that of whatever they were before.
So, in a way, Raven bound herself to Sarah. Like bound herself to Sarah's very soul.
Raven is a fey spirit.
If I'm looking into this correctly, Raven could be considered a fey spirit. As well as she might be well bound to you through some sort of like quid pro quo kind of contract without any kind of downside.
So what does that mean?
Well, you're never going to lose your pet. Like, ever.
Sarah blanks. Are you saying I didn't have to become a ranger?
I don't know what that means.
Never mind. What does it mean for her to be a fey spirit?
Hang on. Joe needs to do a Google real quick. Been... Well, first thing is first, definitely keep her away from any kind of banishing spells, or else she might be trapped back at the Feywild, since she's probably not from this plane of existence. He says, shifty eyes. But nothing really else comes to mind at this moment. I do apologize, darling. I have like 1,000 things on my mind right now, and this isn't... And he just kind of like stops, wide-eyed. Oh! So you might need to pick up another language if you want to understand her more. Because if she's Fey, she definitely understands the Fey tongue.
I need to learn to speak Sylvan, don't I?
In Sylvan, he says, yeah, probably.
Actually, hold on a second. Nope, I understand Celestial.
Sorry.
Also,
Not your
might
fault.
need to- Also, might need to watch out if she's one of the teleporting kind of... Those are tricky, at least.
Sarah side-eyes the dog. You would think after this long she would have shown if she can teleport.
I don't know, have you ever heard of an animal called a blink dog?
No?
Nasty little buggers are hard to pin down. One of my siblings owned one, and very loyal, but they need to know where their home is. So, I think at this point Raven definitely wouldn't try and run from that help.
Sarah's kind of like rubbing her forehead. Could you try talking to her in Sylvan and see if it works?
Yeah.
Because Corey and I both tried casting Speak with Animals, and she looked like she understood, but she didn't respond.
Is there anything that you want me to ask?
I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to process this.
So, Corbin will definitely like kind of sit cross-legged, kind of meeting Raven's eye. And in Sylvan, he's going to say, Raven.
That's all you say is just Raven's name.
Yeah, he's trying to get her attention real quick.
Raven's ears perk up, as if she understands you.
Raven, can you speak this language?
A moment passes. The head sort of tilts a bit, one direction, then to the other. And then almost as if it's not in the back of your mind, but it's weird. You hear it, but it's not like you don't see the dog speaking, but you do hear. Why, yes. Hello, Corvin.
Is only Corvin hearing this?
Correct.
Okay.
Sarah, you hear vague sounds, like the wind blowing. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Seven.
You're not really sure what that could be.
Could be just the wind.
It must have been the wind.
I don't know. I don't speak wind.
I'm just changing my music real quick. Continue.
No, I'm just trying to something real quick. Having read what happened back then, I'm actually very curious. I must ask, how did you come to the Prime Material? And how did you come to be yourself bound to Sarah?
I found my way here as most Fae do. I came across the door, and I went through it. As for Sarah, her uncle was very attached to her. Her uncle saw that our pact would be fulfilled.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that real quick?
Her uncle saw that our pact be fulfilled.
After hearing that, Corbin does kind of, that curious look does appear back on his face. And may I ask, what are the details of your pact?
Simple. I am to protect Sarah, be her companion, ever loyal. And in that, I may continue to live. Not in a physical form, or at least not in the one that I knew, but in this form. An ever-present spirit.
Well, Raven, I think that you've been upholding your end of the bargain very, very well. He actually does say this in common.
Sarah looks confused.
As you
Bargain?
say that, Raven lurches forward and licks you across the face.
Oh, no, not the face, not the face. Oh, God, I know what that tongue has been.
Did you just say bargain?
Quick, prestidigitation on his face. Yes. Your Uncle Weston went into a bargain with Raven. As she lives through you, she is your protector. Congratulations! You're part of a fake contract with no actual downside. You are so lucky.
Oh, okay. She hasn't always been Raven. And since I found this out, I've been seeing flashes of white fur. Can you ask her who she was before?
Was there another wolf? Was there were you another wolf with more white fur?
Are you saying this in Sylvan?
Yes.
The being I was before, I have very little recollection of. Vague memories, sensations, emotions, but I'm afraid most of that is lost to me.
As one aspect of you passes, another is reborn in a way.
Corvin, make me an Arcana check.
I swear to God, if this wolf is a phoenix, I'm gonna laugh. 16?
You know, now that you say that kind of is what it is.
So
But
it's like
this
Phoenix
is-
like, just
this
not
is
like
a-
Phoenix
This is
actual.
this is a wolf, a fey wolf, that was reincarnated as a spirit.
Oh.
This is a straight reincarnation.
He will
The
relay that.
The phoenix, the phoenix symbology is not completely inaccurate.
Corvin will definitely relay that in common to Sarah.
Oh, gods, my uncle killed a fae and made a pact with it. Okay. But she's bound to me. She's not going to disappear or want to go back to the Feywilds.
Ever loyal, ever present. Those were her words.
Ask her if she is okay with this bargain. If she is content with the life she has.
I will ask, but I can guarantee you. When a Fae strikes a contract, they are bound by the laws of the Feywild to enact it. Whether or not she likes it, that is definitely on her, though. He'll look back. Sorry, go ahead.
But if she doesn't like it, and if there's any way I can, as much as it would hurt, I would free her.
he will look back to Raven and Sylvan. Do you feel as though your time with Sarah has been favorable for yourself?
I would say so. Yes.
I will ask mostly just because I am slightly paranoid. Is this because you want to, or is this a survival instinct?
There is a visible pause in that perhaps they had not considered that before. I'm unsure. Perhaps both. But while I do exist here as a part of this pact, I do find my existence enjoyable.
He will stand back up, look towards Saran and calm and say, she says that she enjoys her time with you. It's not all about her living on. It's her living on with you and spending more time with you. Also, she made a mention of he'll kind of like give Raven a side eye and a smirk. Apparently, she also wants more treats. Apparently, double the treats usage.
Corbin's a homie, let it be known.
Corbin, you and Sylvan. I did not say this, but do go on. Look, dog
I don't
first,
like how-
alright?
I don't like
Right.
how this makes me sound, but you know what? I'm game.
Raven just looks at him and goes, "Okay, I didn't say that, but go on."
Yes.
Sarah's raising a brow. Okay, if that's what the dog? Faye? Wolf? Oh god, now I don't know what to call her.
Raven?
Sure, if that's what Raven wants.
I'm just saying, it's a written law in the Fey realms. You have to pay the cheese tax. The rules are the rules are the rules. I don't make this up.
The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts.
I am ready to roll deception.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking roll me deception.
Oh god, I'm an idiot. 24.
Sarah, you can roll insight if you want.
Just for the hell of it, to see if I can do it.
You have a plus 10. You could probably beat it.
Yeah, that's very reasonable, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's absolutely fucking with you. However, Raven is a very good dog.
Sarah side-eyes Raven herself and just slips the dog a piece of jerky.
I imagine you side-eye Raven, and Raven is giving you like the
Wait a fucking
Shrek
minute.
puppy dog eyes.
Oh,
What's up, punk?
You know what? Never mind.
Okay.
Sarah points at Corvin and she's like, I know you're bullshitting me, but I love that dog, so I don't care.
congratulations. Someone finally saw through it. It only took. Sorry, I got caught in a stutter. It only took you, well, I don't know, over a year?
I'm going to choose to ignore that. So, I guess now with this newfound information, as you suggested, I should start learning Sylvan. Any ideas
So-
where... Huh?
The moment you say so, any ideas where, if Tar permits, Corbin, like, kind of out of his jacket, pulls out a How to Learn Sylvan for Children book from his coat.
Does Tart allow?
I'd allow.
I assume the title isn't common.
Yeah.
Sarah will take it from him and look at it for a minute, and then just lightly bonk him on the head with it.
Ow. Is that...
That's for calling me a child.
My mother gave me that book.
Well, I will try to return it to you as it is.
Please do, because I think I have to hand it off to... I definitely have to give that one to Flandarin when they're of age.
Well, I can't say how long it will take me to learn this, so I hope you don't expect it back very soon.
Take your time with it.
And as if just realizing, Sarah will take the clipboard from where it's been tucked under her arm and hand it back to Corbin.
All right.
The moment that she tucks the book under her arm, like in that brief moment, Corbin will definitely like swipe the clipboard back, and then head back towards the area and continue berating Smitty.
Okay.
Yep, nice talking to you too, Corbin.
And with that, with this new mystery solved about your loyal companion, you now look at Raven with this new sense of I'm not sure what the term would be. Acknowledgement, I guess.
Connection?
Connection. That's a good word. Thank you, CG.
Tribal pup, acknowledge her.
And with that, I believe we are going to move on to our last thing.
Yes, I'm done. I am so sorry.
No, I loved it. Thank you so much. I've been waiting on that forever.
Yeah, but there's 3 other people that haven't had their chances yet.
2 days later. Corbin.
Yeah.
The festival, the concert is afoot. Would you like to perhaps describe the event to us?
Deep in where the emergence of the Orion was, there stands this circular, circular elevated stage that sits dead center. The stage itself is, like a better term, appears more like it. Apologies, I wrote this down and I'm trying to translate my fucking scribblings. Yeah, the stage itself is very circular, as well as in the middle of it, it stands this floating glass orb that just seems to be hovering about 10 to 20 feet. The stands themselves have a lot of elevated areas that, like, kind of surrounding the area. Apologies. Mostly for like those who are. It's built for those who are more well off financially, but the real party, that's where it is, near the stage. That's where the general admission area is, and it spans the entire space. The opening number itself The crowd themselves will definitely be alerted to like when the show is starting, and every single artist that is on that bill, including Corbin and Morrow, take part in this just huge like opening number, kind of showing off a small fraction of like what all they can do. It definitely looks as though Corbin is like in the lead of everything, but it's more to just showcase everyone of like what they are to expect
Holy
in the
shit.
show.
Holy shit, it's the ball drop.
I was thinking We Are the World, but yeah, sure.
That also works. I assume the entirety of the party is here in attendance, correct? Unless anybody does not wish to be. Perhaps looks over at Flit.
This is at the end of the month, yeah?
This would be pretty much at the end of the month, yeah?
Foot would be here.
Okay.
Sarah's here.
I guess my question is anyone not here? Okay. Where is everyone, and who did you bring with you?
I think that Reno and I spent like the last couple week or two together. So while we are here, we're not together, and instead I decided to come with the goblins.
Grit and Philete?
Yep.
Okay. As you're going around with them, they are acting like they're absolutely blown away. They've never seen, and I mean, being in a city this size was already a massively new and incredible experience to them. This is something that they will remember for the rest of their lives. They have never seen anything like this. Skrit looks to you and goes, Orphan sure knows how to put on a party.
Yeah, he likes to be extra, doesn't he?
I think, I don't know, I've never seen anything like this before. Should I be worried? I feel a little worried.
Just try to keep, make sure that Philete is not out of your sight. The crowds can be kind of churning, but other than that, nah, this is just some time to relax and have a little fun.
Oh, thank the gods. Okay. Based on what the group has told me about your previous parties, I won't lie, I've been a little nervous. You guys don't have exactly a great track record for parties.
Thinks about it for a little bit. Well, we definitely don't have any alcohol, so that makes it a lot less likely for something bad to happen.
There's definitely a wine vendor going, we got some reds, got some whites, wine for you here.
Not as far as the children know. Smile.
Hurries them away. Oh, look, there's a candied apple vendor on the complete other side.
Bye. I dropped my die. By the way, Flit, I was talking with Arxis, and he gave us like a lead on this really cool, like maybe magical artifact that's out there. I was wondering if in a couple days, if you don't have anything going on, you maybe want to go with.
Ooh, I'd love to. I'll have to make sure that nothing, is on fire. But
right.
Absolutely.
And it's not a rush. Just, he called it a job, which is more than just what cleaning and organizing is, Ben, I guess.
Coming up in the world. Absolutely.
And you see, as this conversation is going on, you see Philete coming back. Look, Skrit, I got red. And Flint, you look and that's absolutely wine. You have no idea how this child got a hold of the wine.
Fire the vendor.
Look, let's be honest. She absolutely stole it.
Fair enough.
You know what? I've never. You know what? Let's gonna walk over. Here, let me take a look at that. Red looks cool. No, I'm gonna do something better. You know the funny thing about that drink that they were saying, the Reds? It's even better if you wait 10 minutes before drinking it. Here, I'll hold on to it for you. And I'm going to ritual cast.
Let it air out.
I'm going to ritual cast purify food and drink.
Oh, I love it. Just turn purify food and drink. Just turn this wine into fucking grape juice. I love it.
It turns it into Kool-Aid.
Absolutely. First of all, make me a deception check.
Oh. Why you gotta ruin a good thing?
Look, man, she's a child, alright?
Okay, 19.
Yeah. No issue. She goes, oh, really? Okay. And she hands it to you. You hear her script quietly to your side. Thank you.
And quick side eye, yup.
And with that, we will cut away from there. Rovan, where are you? Who did you bring?
Ravon would have brought Kieran, and he's gonna be trying to be as calm for this one.
Kieran sort of sees that you are putting on this calm visage, and she kind of nudges you. Hey, you okay?
Oh, yes. Just surprised.
About?
Not all. This, and he kind of just gestures to everything. Practically only barely been a month since, you know. And Ravon kind of minor images the dragon.
I think it's a very sweet gesture, and, well, it's for a good cause. I think it might be what we need. You know?
Perhaps. So, what do you feel like doing?
That is a good question, actually. Where I come from, we usually throw a lot of parties, but not quite anything like this. There's usually a lot of drinking, a lot more fights than what I'm seeing, which I guess the night is still young. I think... I don't know. What do you feel like doing? She says, kind of nudging you again.
I feel like having a good time.
That
With the-
sounds like a great idea.
Tard, has the music begun yet?
Would the music have begun at this point, Joe? Yes?
Once there appears to be like a decent enough crowd, yes.
Okay. I would say we're still a little early into the card, but yes, music has begun.
Ravon's going to look to Kieran and go, I want you to help me find a spot somewhere up top. And he kind of just gestures to all the buildings and stuff. Someplace that will give good view of the stage and a little bit of privacy.
Privacy, huh? Rovan, you dog.
No. I'm not going into Yeah, how would Corvin say this? Manslaughtery.
She gives you a very confused look.
It's just sluttery.
He would say it a lot more elegantly. Shit.
I won't lie, I thought I said manslaughter, and I was like, yeah?
No, manslaughtery.
You know what? Manslaughter?
No, the thing Corvin pretends to be.
I don't think I can answer that without being offensive.
It's free country.
Yo, let's just go find a spot.
Yes, please. This is getting awkward. Can I roll to see if I can find a spot, like, up on a building that could be private?
Sure, roll me perception.
Okay. Not great at these, but...
Why am I imagining Ravon just throwing Kieran on top of a building and then climbing up after her?
15.
Yeah, you can find a very good spot. It's a little bit of ways away, but the height will make up for that.
Ravon will look to Kieran and go... And he'll kind of lower himself down a little bit and go... Grab onto my neck.
Okay. Like, am I trying to choke you, or am I like...
No, like... Just grab onto my neck, I will cradle you.
Oh! Okay.
And with that, Ravon will cast...
I see.
Fly off with Kieran to that location.
Romantic. I love it.
I will show you the world.
Zawardo.
As you float up and you get yourselves cozy on top of this building, we are going to cut away from you two.
Alright.
Lily. Vivu.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you have to go? Because I know you mentioned you had to dip out at 10.
No, thankfully, Joe did get home in time.
Okay. Then perfect. Let's go ahead and do you next. So I presume you are coming with Genia, correct? Sorry,
Yeah.
arriving with Genia. Smile.
Yes.
Okay. And Corvin really went all out, didn't he?
To say the least.
Well, I don't know about you, but the last time I was at a concert like this, I went and danced like there was no tomorrow. I think we get. I think you and I should get wasted and dance like we ain't gonna wake up tomorrow. Which, if we're depending on how much alcohol we drink, we might not.
I want her to persuade me.
You want her to persuade you.
Yes.
Okay. Rolling persuasion. That's a 15.
What goes against persuasion?
I'd say just make me a charisma check in this circumstance.
Well, she sighs heavily. We deserve a night. She looks at Genia. We deserve a night.
I absolutely agree. I'll make sure not to show you up. I don't know if I've shown you, but I got some schmoves. She says kind of, you can see she does that thing where she's beginning to like limber up. Bark, 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 bark. A dog rushes through, barking wildly.
Raven, how did you get here? Where'd you come from?
She walked.
From across the dance floor. Do the doggy dance. I thought of Nala. I don't know if y'all know the Nala stomps.
Oh,
she's a
yeah.
retriever.
I do. I love her.
Oh yeah. See, I'm just imagining Genia trying to do crumping for some reason. I don't know why.
But with that, y'all go, you grab some drinks, and go ahead, and I'll just give you advantage on this, Lily. Go ahead and make me a performance check with advantage. Let's see how well y'all do. Mosh! 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 Holy shit.
Crowd surf.
Who's moshing? We moshing?
I want a crowd surf.
You're gonna crowd surf? Abso-fucking-lutely.
God, yes.
With a nat 20, you're fucking crowd surfing. Genia is moshing. The crowd, y'all two together are beginning to help this crowd get fucking hyped up as the card continues on for these performances. Meanwhile, I'm watching Marge Simpson crump. But, with that, Corey, I presume you brought Miss
yes.
LeBlanc and probably young Nexus too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, dog. Can you stop licking my toes? Thank you. Dad, you let the dogs out.
Who?
But Nexus is currently riding on your shoulders, kind of looking over at the stage and goes, "Wow! Everything's so pretty!" Diana looks,
Corbin did really well around here.
Diana looks to you. He really did. And he thankfully got some catering? She kind of gestures at like the wine vendors and whatnot. I don't know about you, but I could really go for a drink after everything that's happened recently.
Yeah. A sort of bittersweet, happy drink, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nexus, everyone, you know the rules. Watch your drinks.
I don't have a drink. Should I
Not
get
yet.
the drink?
We're getting you juice.
Okay. The local juice vendor, Flit.
Juice.
There's a 10-minute delay. Shifty eyes.
What?
The two of you go over and you get some wine for yourselves. Is Corey a red wine or a white wine person? Diana's a white wine person.
Corey's a fey wine person.
True.
White.
Ooh, you're both white wine people. Good to know. And Nexus gets some juice, which he attempts to not spill on over your head. Why are you rolling again?
Shut up. Continue.
Oh, okay, damn. But you two find a little bit of a quieter spot, and Diana says to you, "What do you think Cedric would say if he saw all this going on?"
I'm the king. I can't be seen partying like some hooligan.
That does sound a little bit.
To which
like
I
him.
would say, shut up and take a shot. You're
That
also
definitely
human.
sounds like you.
I mean, he's also human too. God, above. I hope he's all right.
I wish he were here.
worried though something's going wrong. I'm worried it'll be distracting to him.
I mean, honestly, at this stage, he's probably asleep, considering time zones and whatnot. Though, and she kind of looks up at the sky. It's not that late. Fucking, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm a bad influence. Let's do it.
This is the Pope, ladies and gentlemen.
With
She's
a
the-
20
she's
wisdom
that
and
influence.
20 intelligence. Diana's fucking got the super brain, and she's giving in to her bad influences. To her God, it's hard to talk when I'm still watching Marge Simpson.
I'll get rid of the cue.
No, it's okay. I just need to put something over it. I got my notes over it. I just realized I had Discord open. I was just, while all this was going on, I was still staring at her. Do you wish to send Cedric a message?
Yeah, I was typing it out.
Okay, you're good.
$23.
23. Okay.
Alright, so, just checking in with you. At a benefit concert of Corvin's with Diana Nexus. Wish you were here with us. You okay?
The message you get back is pretty simple. I am alright. I wish I was there with you both as well. With you three as well. Give Diana and Nexus my best. And wish me luck. I wasn't counting, but that's what you get.
I got you.
And wish me cuts off.
Yeah.
You know?
He's alright. He's about to do his something stupid.
Oh. Oh. I made a bad call. You know what? That one's on me. That one's on me. We should wait until after the concert where there wasn't alcohol. She says, taking a big swig of her wine.
You better watch that there, Missy.
What, you gonna arrest the Pope?
I think the Pope has taken a little too much liberty of communion.
I don't know what you mean. Tonight, I'm just another girl out on the town at a wonderful little concert. She stares over the massive as fuck stage.
Corey will put her arm around her and hip check her a little bit. Alright, you.
She smiles. She puts her arm around you as well. And with that... Let me see if I have something good for this. Not sure I do. I should have gotten something else for this. No. I should have got something else for this. Fuck. Give me one moment. Talk amongst yourselves.
I have a stupid pun.
You have a stupid pun?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
What do you call a gathering of people casting commune?
Tell me this thing.
Communion.
You know, I should have expected that one.
Thank you, CG.
Alright. I'm just gonna go with this. That was great timing, but not me.
All right. We gotta. I know the siren call of the soundboard exists, but it sounds like Dart's got one.
The curtain falls. Marrow fishes up their performance. And the stage is set for you to go on, Corvin. As you're in the back, preparing yourself, seeing the crowds of people out amongst the crowd, you feel a little soft hand on your shoulder. You alright? It's Ara.
So as he like, oh, okay. I was gonna say, as he's like kind of looking out of the crowd, he actually does kind of get a sense of nostalgia from kind of before everything kind of kicked, before he came to the Primaterial, kind of seeing just literally everyone just surrounding the stage itself. I mean, like, would you argue that there would be more people here than at the amphitheater?
I'd say right now, yeah, actually.
He as he kind of feels the soft hand, he will turn around, see Aura there. I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah?
She'll actually see for the first time he actually looks a little nervous. And he'll just kind of blurt out and say, "Can you tell me that I deserve this?"
She takes both of your hands. You deserve this. And so much more.
He'll take her hands, give them a squeeze, bring her into a hug, whisper in her ear, "I appreciate everything that you have done for me."
I'm a pretty good influence. And she puts her hands on your cheeks. She kisses you. Now go kick some ass.
He will kind of shake himself loose, put his guitar in hand, kind of give the exact same kind of smirk as he's walking up towards the center of the stage.
Okay.
As his sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
As his performance starts, everyone would definitely be eyes centered on him as they hear this, like, siren-like sound kind of buzzing through. It goes a little like, it's just repeating for a good about 20 seconds as people's attentions are gathered, and like the more and more the siren goes, the glass orb in the center of the stage kind of starts to fill with this like purple and green kind of energy. He will go into his song, and from what it looks like that his entire essence is being pulled right into the orb itself. And like throughout the entirety of the song, the purple and green energies look like that they're fighting back, like they're fighting each other in like these like big waves. Another part of the song actually feels like that there's like two people at itself singing. Kind of sounds a little like this. Shedding weight as I'm coming undone, all that's left converging as one. I am the sun, yeah. second voice. I'm a god. I'm awake. I'm the one in everything. I'm alive. I'm the dead. I'm a man without a head. That part of the song continues to repeat as if Corbin's voice is actually fighting out of it. I walk through death and final isolation, and come apart through violent separation. 1,000 floors descend into the ether, a lunatic enchanted by the reaper. And down below I leave a stranger laying lifeless as the light begins to shatter the skies. I ascend and leap behind there used to be, and tear the fabric one to cover my eyes and see. I see nobody. The song continues as it feels as though the green energy is just kind of overtaking, and just suddenly, as this very not really lengthy, but like this guitar solo that seems to be accompanied by these numerous violins, and just the purple energy itself just encompasses the green, and it just appears as though Corbin just appears right back onto the stage itself once the entire orb is just filled with this purple like wave-like energy.
Corbin, as the song continues on, you look out at this huge crowd of people, all just completely engrossed in this fantastic performance that you're putting forth. And there is one face that you recognize. You look out to the crowd, you see a tall, gorgeous, blonde-haired woman. A beacon of beauty in the midst of all these otherwise mundane, simple people. But no one else seems to notice her. Only you. You look out, and you see Cor Ladora. And as you process this, a voice echoes in the back of your mind. Come find me. Gather your friends. I have a job for you. And as the sound of your pyrotechnics echoes and the flashes and lights up the crowd, she vanishes. And as your performance comes to an incredible, astounding end that leaves the crowd just at your beck and call, symbolizes the progress that you all have put thus far. You don't know what's to come, but nothing will be the same ever again. And as the crowd cheers and plenty of donations are made to the relief effort, that is where we're going to end tonight.
Help.
After I'm done internal screaming.
Oh, now please. I demand help!
How do we feel,
This is
gang?
payback. CG, that's payback for the backhanded compliment that you gave me.
What backhanded compliment did I give you?
Corbin sure knows how to be extra.
Is it false?
He's got you there.
This is
I
my
said
fifth
Joe's got
day,
you
man.
there.
I'm just going to throw this out there quick. Sarah would have donated some of her own money to the fund. She would have donated 59 platinum when she got there, and another 59 before she left, for a total of 118 platinum.
Nodders. But thank you all.
Also,
What's up?
I was gonna say, I hope everyone tolerated my fucking stupid musings.
Nah, I thought it was great.
That was wonderful.
I enjoyed it.
But
I don't know why, but Avenged Sevenfold has Corbin down to a fucking T. Don't know why.
River did unfortunately have to dip near the end there. Something came up and they did need to go take a certain bird to work. We do appreciate them coming on by and being here, and thank you all for hanging out tonight. Special shout out to Bev and Fruit Newt for the raids. We appreciate you. If you've never been here before, we run this game every Sunday here at twitch.tv/fartingtart, and we appreciate you stopping on by. And next week, gang, next week we begin the Violet Hunt. What does that mean? I don't know. You'll have to tune in next week to find out. But
I kill the Earl King and assume his place.
let's go ahead and do outros. Joe, do you want to show River?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and follow them at Wicked River 97, the river that makes you quiver. They are on a break at this current moment, and they will be returning to streaming very, very soon as the current situation gets fixed, or fix is a strong word. Gets handled. Also, YouTube, I fucking see you still. I know that you haven't liked this video, subscribed to this channel, and rung that silly bell. Ring that bell to get notified of this man's content. I mean it. CG.
Hello, I am the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on other Good Beans D&D channels such as twitch.tv/burnoutvaughn, where we usually play just the one game I usually am part of the one game on that channel, which is our Strixhaven game every other Saturday. We just had a game, so go check it out, and we will be back in 2 weeks. However, also coming up soon, Thursdays, during the month of July and probably a little bit into August, we will be revisiting Pack Tactics, coming back for Pack Tactics 2, an all Warlock campaign. I will be the DM along with one other person in this call who is going to be a player, and would that player like to take it away from there? I pass the ball over to you.
Hi. Well, this will be really awkward if someone else picks up.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm finally
My name
in.
is Pokier Dog. I play Reihua Kore. You all can find me on Twitch, Twitter, sometimes TikTok at Punkier Dog. I play Lucy in Pack Tactics. I am so excited to be back. That's all for me, though.
Small gremlin child.
I just look, baby.
The beans are forfeit.
I will kill you.
Gremlin is a
Fight
state
you.
of being.
Gremlin's accurate. Child, no. I am no longer baby.
I am no longer baby. I crave power.
I crave violence and power. Has Sarah gone?
Sarah has not gone.
Sarah, go!
Neither has Jay Frost, just let it be known.
Go.
We'll get to
So
Jay
call him
Frost.
next. You go now.
Yeah.
I don't stream anymore, but someone that does is the lovely Coffee Bean, Kazgak. She can be found at twitch.tv/Kazgak, and she is constantly doing fundraisers for people in need, and is just overall a lovely bean. So go check her out, give her your support. And next, check out Jay Frost.
The
Hey, everybody.
Jayest of Frosts.
Twitch, Twitter, JFrost747. Say by the spell every other Saturday. Goons managed to do pretty good. Enjoy helping out the teacher and got a free level up on it. Also, find me doing some randomized streams here and there. Other than Fortnite, Civ 6, and hopefully by in a few more months, Baldur's Gate 3. But that's enough on my end. Take it away,
Raccoon.
Tart.
Fork nut.
Fartnut.
Fart nut. Hello, everyone. My name is Farting Tart. You've already found me here at twitch.tv/FartingTart, where I do D&D, I do variety games. We run this game every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. EST, where, whoo boy, now that y'all have had a few sessions of downtime, I hope y'all are ready to get back into it. Smile. Alright, good talk.
I mean, what do you want us to say?
I'm
Listen,
not so sure.
I'm saving my existential crisis for next Sunday.
I'm
Error-
not so sure I would call this session downtime for Sarah.
I wouldn't mind it.
Error 404, Flit not found for a side quest.
Yes. Also this week, we are going to this Saturday, specifically June 24th. I'm going to be running a 12-hour streamathon. Going to be attempting to do a bit of recouping of funds. Since I just had a big move and a little taxing on the wallet, and to sort of give you guys I offer you a trade deal. Also, Cujo plays games. Thank you for the raid. We're actually wrapping up.
Welcome, Raiders.
We thank you for raiding anyway. Thank you for the follow. But
And that's unfortunate.
yeah, that's okay though. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for the raid. We appreciate it. But this Saturday, we have. I offer you a trade deal, chat. You give me money, I give you extra content as well as new emotes. Yes, that's right. For every $100 we raise up to $1,000, you guys will get new emotes as well as some incredible new content. If you wish for more, exclamation point streamathon, where it will give you a link to a Twitter post where you can get all prevalent information, including goals, incentives, and the schedule for that day. And I'm really fucking excited. I have so many homies joining me, as well as a few open lobbies throughout the day. And dude, I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I'm also excited to show y'all these new fucking emotes. But that's this upcoming Saturday. In the meantime, we gotta find someone to raid, and I think I know who we're gonna raid because they are going straight for my heart. Bro Kaiser is playing Sly Cooper.
Oh.
Sly Cooper 1, one of my favorite fucking games of all time. So I think we're gonna raid into Brawl. Everyone, go show Brawl a little bit of love. Tell him he's the best boy. Raid message is, hey, Ringtail. Because that's what Carmelita Fox calls Sly Cooper, you see.
Ah.
Wait,
understood.
no, fucking, I'll get you yet, Ringtail. Whatever, something. Just say Ringtail. It's up to you. It is up to you. But go show Brawl some love. Let him know who sent you. I love you all so very much. Thank you all for being here. We will see you next week. And remember, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. AI art is not real art. You are loved, you are valid, and you matter. Love you all so very much, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya.